Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you become part of our makeup family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. Today we are doing what I like to refer to as concealer combat. I'm going to be trying out these two Dior concealers for y'all today for the next 10 hours, and we're going to see which one comes out on top. Now, this beauty right here, this is a new bottle of this. This is the Forever Skin Correct. This has been a holy grail concealer for me for 2 years, and I got a new shade. I was using 1N, and when I placed the order for the new concealer, which we'll talk about in a second, I decided to go up to 1W because I also changed the shade that I wear in Dior foundations. Today I will be wearing the Dior Forever Skin Glow, and this is also in 1W. 1W is warm, 1N is neutral. I made that shift to see if I like the way that shade, is going to complement my skin tone a little bit better, and so far I think it does. Like, I do have it on right now, and I've been very pleased with my new shade 1W in Dior. So that is what we have going on. This Dior Forever Skin Correct has been out for a little bit. I love this thing. This works with pretty much any setting powder that I pair with it. It's good for the under eye area. It's good for spot concealing. I mean, I could pretty much do my whole face with this. I don't, but this is that go-to concealer when I need to go on a quick trip, go on a long trip, just something that I know is going to work. This Dior Forever Skin Correct is absolutely amazing. This is a full coverage concealer, and it's going to also be hydrating as well. It says it's going to give you a 24-hour wear. I don't wear it for that long, but some of you might. So let me know in the comments if this concealer has been one of your holy grails. I know for a lot of people it has, but Dior recently released their new Backstage Flash Perfector concealer, and I also picked up the shade 1W in this one. This one is a little bit different as far as the applicator. This one has a little brush to it, and the Dior Forever Skin Correct has a doe foot applicator. Now, I've already done my review on this particular concealer, so I will have my Dior playlist linked in a pinned comment to today's video. That way you can check out a more detailed review of this Dior Backstage concealer. But let me just give you some quick specifics on both concealers, particularly the new one, since this one was just released. The new one retails for $29, and this one retails for $36. Now, you do get the same amount of product in both, which I think is 0.37 fluid ounces of product, and they both do say that they are going to provide full coverage. Now, with the new Backstage concealer, this one does come in fewer shades than this one. I believe in this one you can get like 30 plus different shades, and this one is at 22 different shades. Now, both of these concealers do say that they're going to give us that full coverage look. They're going to blur imperfections. They also say that they're going to be hydrating and nourishing to our skin. This one does say, the new one does say that it is crease proof and waterproof, and I find no mention of that on the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This one does claim to last longer than this one does, but they both say that they're going to conceal, blemishes, under eye circles. This one is infused with caffeine, so it's going to give us that well-slept look effect to our under eye area. Now, they are both a natural finish, but this one is more of a natural radiant, while this one is more of a typical natural finish concealer. Now, on the Dior Forever Skin Correct, I find no mention of fragrance. This one, however, does contain fragrance. So I know that fragrance is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of you. Totally understand that. So I'm excited for today's concealer combat, guys. I have my holy grail Dior Forever Skin Correct over here, and we're gonna see how this little newbie over here, the new Backstage concealer, is going to wear. If you want to see who wins, keep on watching. Alright guys, let's get started with today's concealer combat. On the left eye, I'm going to be wearing my holy grail concealer. This is a Dior Forever Skin Correct, and I'm in the shade 1W. Alright, so here is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. I am going to add a little bit to the sides of my cheeks where I normally like to spot conceal. And I'll do a little bit on my forehead right here and on this side of the chin. Now on the right side, I'm going to go in with the new Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer. always forget the name, and it's also in the shade 1W. And this one does have the little brush applicator. Once again, if you want to see my full review over this, I will have it linked up above, as well as in a pinned comment. I'll have my Dior playlist linked in a pinned comment of today's video, in case you want to hear my thoughts, initial first impressions of this new concealer from Dior. And while I'm at it, we'll just add it here. Alright, so here's what both concealers look like, just with one coat under the eye area and, you know, a couple stripes right here on the side of my face. Now, as far as coverage, I feel like I'm getting more coverage with the Dior Forever Skin Correct versus the new Backstage. That's because the formula on the Backstage is a bit thinner than the one on the Forever Skin Correct. So I'm going to add a little bit more on both sides to each under eye area, just to make sure I can camouflage as much darkness as possible. Alright, so I think both under eye areas look really nice. I mean, obviously I just applied everything. Just gonna pat it out because I am gonna set my T-zone and actually my whole face today. And for setting powder, I'll be using this one from Nikia Joy Cosmetics. This is her Velvet Loose Finishing Powder. Now to set the perimeter of my face, I'll be using the Dior Backstage No Powder Powder in the shade 1N. And this is the BK Beauty 105 brush. This is my favorite brush for applying this particular powder. Now I'm going to give my face a spritz with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Alright guys, so here's what the complexion is looking like, and specifically the under eye area. I think both sides look pretty identical right now. I mean, obviously I just applied the makeup. There's no major issues or complaints. So this is going to be a 10-hour wear test today. I will be back in 5 hours to do the first check-in of the day, and we'll see which concealer is coming out on top. And of course, at the end of the day, to wrap up this concealer combat featuring these two Dior concealers. Stay tuned. Hey guys, 5-hour check-in here with the Dior Concealer Combat Forever Skin Correct on this eye and the new Backstage Flash Perfector on this eye. Now, if you're noticing some little lines right here, I took about an hour nap, and I obviously primarily slept on my right side, but the concealer is still intact on both under eyes, and of course everywhere else. Like, the makeup is pretty much still intact, even the blush and highlighter and everything still looks pretty good. I really don't see a major difference. I feel like, well, maybe I have a little bit more coverage on this eye versus this eye, but not by much. Everything looks pretty good. I mean, it looks the way it typically does. This concealer is wearing the same way it wore yesterday with the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Loose Finishing Powder. That's what I used to set it with. This eye, you know, the concealer over here is wearing the way it normally does. Everything looks good. I have no complaints. So I'll be back in another 5 hours to wrap up this concealer combat, and we'll see which Dior concealer is going to win. All right, guys, 10 hours later, and we are ready to wrap up today's concealer combat. I have my holy grail Dior Forever Skin Correct over here on the left, and I have the new Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer over here on the right. Let me give you a closer look. Now, after careful examination and studying this all day long, I think that the winner of today's concealer combat has got to go to the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This remains my holy grail, untouched. I love this concealer. I've loved it since the moment I tried it, since it was released a couple years ago, and I just think it looks really good. Now, I think they both look good, but I definitely think this one looks a lot better than this side. This side looks a lot better than this side. So I have to say that the new Backstage concealer, this is the second day that I wear it, tried it with a different setting powder and foundation today.
I have to say that this does tend to settle. The new one does tend to settle in fine lines. It doesn't do it terribly, but you're definitely going to notice it, especially if you don't set your under eye area or wherever you're going to set it down. I do think that they both provide, you know, a really good amount of coverage. However, I feel like I have more coverage from the Dior Forever Skin Correct versus the Backstage concealer. And the formula is different. It's definitely a thinner formula with the new Backstage concealer versus the Forever Skin Correct. This is slightly thicker, which could mean that's why it provides a little bit more longevity and also more coverage. But I've just liked the way this one looks. I've always liked the way this one looks. This one has worked out so well with all the setting powders that I've tried with it. It's a good under eye concealer. It's a good spot concealer. It's just a good concealer all around. And I do like the new Backstage, but I'm still going to have to keep experimenting with it. I'm still going to have to keep trying it. I do enjoy the coverage that it gives. I mean, I have no issue with the way it performed like on the sides of my cheeks where I normally spot conceal. I just feel like under my eye area, I definitely get better coverage from the Forever Skin Correct versus the Backstage one. But I'm still going to keep trying it. It's not to say that this is a bad concealer. It's just not replacing my holy grail. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Are you going to be trying this out? I know a lot of you are really excited for my review, so definitely go check out that video so that you can hear some more of my in-depth thoughts on the new Backstage Flash Perfector from Dior. But if you're looking for a new concealer to add to your stash and you haven't tried Dior Forever Skin Correct, I'm gonna say go with this one. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.